Greetings. Today's reflection is another from Spirit Wheel, Meditations from an Indigenous Elder by Steven Charleston. This reflection is called Irony, and it's on page 164. Irony. The more I let go of my life, the more it seems to make sense to me. The less I try to control, the more things seem to come within my grasp. The fewer things I own, the more satisfied I seem to feel. Spirituality is an irony. It is based on the counterintuitive principle that less is more, that giving away is gaining, that being able to bend is the best way to stand tall. These lessons are learned by experience, by seeing and listening. They are not dogma, but common sense. The more I realize I do not know, the more I learn. This is Christianity captured in a nutshell to me, and also has this beautiful overtone of what Lent is and why Lent is so important in the Christian church. For our broader culture, to admit that we have sinned, to admit that we have made a mistake, to admit that we have fallen short is it's like a tragedy. It's like you shouldn't do that. That makes you vulnerable. It makes you open to people criticizing you. It means you're not good. So you have to, in our popular culture, defend yourself, right? Demonstrate that you're right. If people say that you're making a mistake, double down and no, stick to your guns, right? And that's the opposite of what Lent teaches us. What Lent teaches us is that forgiveness is available. It is a free gift. Don't let our mistakes, don't let our wayward ways, and we all have them, don't let that get in the way of our relationship with the one holy, truly ever-living God, right? Because God longs to forgive. God longs to be back in right relationship. And so for Christians, the ability to ask for forgiveness from God, from another person, that's our triumph. That's our glory as Christians. That is something that we have and recognize because of our relationship with Jesus Christ, because of our relationship with God revealed to us through Christ. And so this especially comes to my mind this week, where we've just heard this past week the passage that includes John 3:16, right? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. For God sent his Son into the world, 3:17, not to condemn the world, but that the world might be saved through him. God, all power, almighty God, right, becomes vulnerable, becomes human, dies on the cross for that love, for the love that God has for us. That's irony, right? That's irony. That's not a human term. That is divine terms. And the same thing is coming, the same theme, right? In our next week's gospel, this coming Sunday's gospel, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, right? And what happens when it does fall into the earth and dies? It becomes an entire stalk of wheat with many grains of wheat. Those who would save their life will lose it, and those who lose their life will save it. It's this divine irony that permeates all of our faith, that moves all the way through all that we believe, and especially here in this season of Lent. Spirituality, says Steven Charleston, is an irony. It's based on the counterintuitive principle that less is more, that giving away is gaining, that being able to bend is the best way to stand tall. Those who save their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for the sake of Jesus, for the sake of God, the gospel, will save it. So maybe the question to ponder this week, today, is how are you losing your life for the sake of the gospel? How are you becoming vulnerable, just as God became vulnerable in becoming human in Jesus? Blessings on your Lent.